Hello, my name is Katie. Welcome to Skeptical Yarn. So for this video, I wanted to document me making all of the Christmas gifts that I'm going to be giving to my family. I'm planning on hand making a gift for pretty much everybody that I'm giving a gift to this year. So I am really excited to get started on that and hopefully finish everything in time. So I'm planning to make gifts for both my parents, both my sisters, my brother-in-law. I already did make a gift for my sister's boyfriend, so that one is done already too. And then I don't know if I actually have a handmade gift for my boyfriend lined up. But I have other things for him, so he's fine. And then for his parents as well. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gifts to make for people. It's a variety of knit stuff, crochet stuff, sewing stuff even that I'm going to be trying to do. So I think it's going to be fun. At the time that I'm filming this intro, I have already made a few things, so some of the footage is going to be older. I started making everything in the beginning of November, so that is when the footage will begin. But I wanted to do something a little bit different with this video, so usually in my videos, I will include clips based on, like chronological time. So like when I filmed it, that will be the order that they appear in the video. But for this one, I wanted to try lumping them in by project. That way, like if you're interested in a specific project that I'm making, you could just kind of fast forward to that section. And yeah, so that way, that is a pro of that kind of way of doing things. The con is that it isn't going to be exactly chronologically in order. So just wanted to put that out there. If you're confused about the timing, that's probably why. If you are one of my family members that you think might be receiving a gift from me, you should probably click away now. And I'm going to bring everybody else back to the beginning of November when I was working on my first few gift projects. Welcome to the part of the video where we will be making stuff for my sister and her husband. So my idea for them was to make little pouches because they both play Dungeons and Dragons together with their friends, so I thought that would be a cool handmade gift that I could make them. And I settled on a crochet pouch pattern that looks like a dragon egg, so it has like scales and stuff. It's this pattern here. It is the Dragon Egg Dice Bag by Cindy DeVries, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It was free on Ravelry, so if you want to make it, it's totally free, no cost to you. So I have these 2 skeins of Hobbies Universe yarn, and this is mostly acrylic. It's 2% polyester, 98% acrylic, and it's this really sparkly yarn. This one you can see it a lot better because of the silver sparkles, but I thought these 2 yarns would be perfect for it, and they are a fingering weight. So, and the pattern can be, you can use any yarn weight and any corresponding hook that you want. So I was thinking about doubling, maybe even tripling these up because they are a fingering weight. And I think that with the sparkles, that will turn out really, really cool. I don't know which one of them would like which color palette, if you know what I mean. Like, in my head, before I got the yarn out, I was thinking that I would do this colorway for my brother-in-law and this colorway for my sister, but I pictured this colorway as being a lot more pink and less brown, so I'm not really sure now. So I'm thinking that I'll just wrap them together as a gift and they can open it together and then they can just choose the ones that they like. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. Hopefully it's gonna be a quick project. So yeah, let's get started on that. Why, hello there. So I started working on my second dragon egg pouch Here it is. I think it is looking magnificent. I like how this yarn has the silver sparklies, so it's very contrasted as compared to this one, which has the blue sparklies, which you can't really see very well. So I'm kind of upset that, like, this one is really not that sparkly. This one, though, I wanted to say, however, is definitely turning out bigger. The brown one is turning out bigger than the blue one, for sure. I think it is because this yarn is slightly thicker than the blue yarn for whatever reason. They're the same exact brand, just different colors. But I did notice that when I was opening them, they both had different labels, even though they're both Hobby Universe. The labels were designed differently, so I don't know if maybe... And the yarns were bought at the same time, I know that. So I don't know, maybe they did like an update on the yarn and they just didn't get rid of the old ones. I mean, you know, they're just trying to sell them, which makes sense, it's fair. But I definitely noticed a difference, especially in the size of both of these. I'm using the same hook, 3.75 I think it is. It's still doubled up. So I don't really know what's going on with that, but I'm gonna hope that it turns out fine. And we will soon have 2 dragon eggs. Yay! I was able to finish the second pouch that I have here. Got scrap yarn. All the ends are woven in. I think it looks so freaking cool with the silver sparkly thread. And I actually, so this one definitely did end up being bigger than this one. So I actually did one less scale row on this one than I did for this one. And they're about the same height now, but as you can see, one of them definitely is bigger than the other. They're a little squished, but it's not that crazy, but like you can also definitely see it like in the differences of the scales. These ones are much bigger. And all I have to do now is add a little drawstring, which I actually was able to find a drawstring, or not drawstring, but like a cord type thing that I thought would look great with these from a local craft swap that was happening at my local library. So that is really awesome. I didn't have to go out and buy one, so I can get it secondhand. Here's the thread or cord that I picked out. It's thinner than I remember it being, but that's okay, I think. So I'm just going to cut a piece that matches the length of the opening of the bag, plus a few more inches. Make it like there, about this long. And then I'm going to thread it through the space in between the scales here. It's kind of hard to see, but there's kind of a little, yeah, there we go. This little opening here. I'm gonna thread that through. And then hopefully we should have 2 bags that have a drawstring. You can also use a lighter to melt the bit down over at the end so that it doesn't fray. Perfect. So cute. And then you just pull it tight and you can tie them. Oh my god, it's a little squished. I think when I give them the gifts, I'll stuff them a little so it looks more egg-shaped, but I think it's cute. All right, let me do the blue one. It's done! Here we go. Here they are. So freaking cute. I'm gonna try to get a nice box to gift them in. And yeah, I'm really excited with how this turned out. I think they're so cute. I think the beads add a really good touch too. It makes it look a little bit less handmade, I guess, and more polished. Ooh. I'm happy about these. Hello, this is Editing Katie. So the next few clips, I didn't talk about the pattern that I wanted to make, so I just wanted to clarify that. The pattern that I'm referring to in the beginning of the clips is the Mindful Beanie by Noemi Zimmer, aka Jackie Bean. The pattern's on Ravelry, if you are interested. But yeah, there are some change of plans after I start talking about it in the first clip, but that is what I'm referring to in the first clip, so you know. Hello and welcome to me trying to find a good yarn to make the beanies with this pattern. So I'm sitting on the floor in front of my closet because I have a good amount of yarn in some storage bins in my closet here. So I'm just going to take a look through them and see if there's any good yarn that I want to use for the pattern. Since the pattern comes in worsted, light bulky, and super bulky, I don't really know exactly what I'm looking for yet, but I know that I want to use a yarn that is, first I need to have enough of it to make 2 hats. Second, it needs to be a yarn I think that can be machine washed, because I am giving these beanies to my parents, and I know that neither of them are going to want to hand wash something. So my first thing that I thought about was this yarn here, which I got for free from a craft swap in my community. And this is a worsted weight. Definitely feels like some sort of, okay, so it's 60% wool and 40% acrylic. So that might be machine washable. I'm looking for, oh no. Hand wash only, unfortunately. It is a really pretty yarn though. This is Yarn Art Harmony yarn, color A4. I don't know. It might be discontinued because it did come from a swap. So, oh man, I kind of wanted to use these. I kind of like the idea of those. I have a lot of this bulky yarn that I also got from the same craft swap, but it is 100% wool, and it is hand wash only for sure. Bin number 2, honestly, looking at it, I don't think this is going to be good either, because I just have more of that wool yarn, and yarn that's a thinner weight, really, and some scrap, like chenille yarn, I don't know, whatever that, however you say that. Okay, so I'm kind of losing faith that I have yarn for this project. I thought I could use something from my collection, but I don't know. Oh, I have one more bin of yarn here, but it's definitely not gonna be good. Yeah, no. This is just some leftover chenille yarn that I have from a project. Oh man, I'm kind of disappointed. Ugh. I thought I was gonna find something in there, but I guess not. But I do still have more yarn, so honestly, I think I might be in luck if I just check my acrylic stash, so let's do that next. Alright, so looking at my stash, I'm thinking that maybe I will pick 2 different colors for the hats, and like the secondary color for both hats could be black, because I do have a lot of black acrylic yarn, and then I can pick a different main color or primary color for each of my parents so that they both like the colors that they get. So I know that my mom likes purple, so this is definitely a contester, and this would be good to use up because I don't really wear purple too much or really use it in my decor. But what would my dad like? I've made him a few hats before. I mainly stick to like a blue color palette, I think, but I I don't know, maybe I should mix it up. What about like this green? I don't know. Green and black for my dad, and then purple and black for my mom. Is it giving... It's kind of giving like Halloween, but that's okay because they'll be two separate hats. I don't know, maybe that's good. I kind of like it. I feel like that's nice. I think I'm gonna go with this for now. I think I'll do my mom's hat first because I'm definitely sure about the purple. And maybe I will come back to my dad's color after. He's also red. I don't think... Nah, he's not a red and black kind of guy, I don't think. All right, well, here are my choices. So, a small problem that I have is that I don't have the correct needle sizes to use for a worsted weight yarn for this pattern. So, and I honestly kind of did want to find a bulky yarn just so that it works up a little bit quicker. So I think what I'm going to do is double strand the yarn so then it will be a bulky weight. And I do have needles for that. So for the pattern, it ranges from like 5.5 to 8mm for like super bulky, but I don't think I'll need them that big. But I do have these fixed 6.5mm circulars, and in ChowGoo as well, I have my large shorty set, which comes with 5.5mm to 8mm. So I think what I'm going to do is just start knitting the hat, and then when I get to a point where I can measure the gauge, I'll just make sure that I'm on the right track. So I have a pretty good update on the hat. Oh my god, the pattern actually looks so much better on the camera. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, up close it's kind of hard to see it a little bit, but here it is. Here's my first hat. So I decided to make the black the main color actually, so that both of the hats will have a black brim. And yeah, I'm in the middle of row 13 on this, and I really like how it's coming out. My only worries are that it is very thick, and I knew it was going to be thick because I am knitting at a bulky weight gauge. My hair's insane right now. I am knitting at a bulky weight gauge, and it's color work, so I do have my ends on the back. My floats, I mean. I'm hoping that my mom likes thick hats. The other thing that comes from that issue is I don't know if my dad would really be a fan of a thicker hat, just because he does run hot. So I'm not sure if that's something he would enjoy. So I'm kind of on the fence about making him the same exact hat, even though I did want to make the matching hats in the first place. That was the plan. But I think what I'm going to do is just finish this one up, and I'm about like halfway through it already. So, and I've been working on it for a few days now. But I'm going to finish this one up, see how it looks, how it feels, how it maybe looks on me. I'll try it on, how it feels, all that stuff. And yeah, but oh my god, I'm actually obsessed with the pattern in the freaking camera. Are you joking? Stop. This is my second knit color work project. So I was kind of scared. And to be honest, I don't really know if I'm enjoying the process too much. So I tried to knit with one color with continental and one color with English style. I'm primarily an English style knitter, so that's what I'm used to. And I just don't love continental. I can do it now. I'm just not very fast at it, but also with the color work, I just feel like I'm thinking about my floats too much, and I know that my first color work practice that I did, my floats were pretty tight, even though I did kind of get into a flow with the continental and the English styles. So with this hat, I'm mostly just doing English, and I'm just being slow with it and just switching colors when I need to. But it kind of is a little bit discouraging, I guess, to, the fact that I don't really like it from a process perspective too much, because there are a lot of color work patterns that I have wanted to do, and I always felt like I would really love doing it. And I did love it on my first one, but the floats were way too tight. So it's just not something that I can move forward with, I guess. Like I do have to figure out how to get that good tension, specifically on my floats, and when I'm doing my continental knitting. And this one, yeah, I've just been very focused on trying to make sure the floats are not too tight, not too loose. I think it's looking so cool. It is awesome. Hello there, it is the next day from when I last updated you about my hat. So here's our progress now. It is looking super cool. But I have come across a problem. So the final hat is supposed to be about 8.5 inches, and I have found out that my row gauge is a lot looser than the pattern calls for, which, I mean, it does make sense. I am using yarn, like, I'm using the light bulky needle size when I probably am using like a more bulky or even super bulky weight yarn, since I am holding two worsted weights together. You know, I figured stitch count is always more important than row, or stitch gauge is more important than row gauge usually. So I figured I would just kind of decide to decrease whenever I want. However, I did realize that the pattern is specifically designed to give you a nice decrease while still kind of following the color work pattern. So I don't want to mess that up. So, and I have gotten to the point now where I would like to start decreasing, because the hat is almost 8 inches. It's about 7 inches now. And I have like three rows to 1 inch roughly. Decrease rows are definitely going to add some length here. So yeah, I'm going to try to play around with the decreasing and see what I can do. Do you like it? So this is why I don't wear hats or beanies. Anyway, look at her. Okay, so update. Obviously you can see I have a full beanie here, equipped with tapestry needle and all. I did the decreases. They kind of look like crap, I'm not gonna lie. I like totally ditched the decrease steps in the pattern, to be honest, and then the color work pattern. But honestly, I don't hate it. I do like the alternating look of the colors. I do just generally don't like these really long stitches though, but that was just kind of an issue throughout. And with the long stitches too, it's just because I switched to DPNs at the end, and I don't know, it's just not the ideal situation. Maybe I could have done it a little bit better, maybe not, I don't know. I am finished with it, and as you can see, yeah, there are some areas where, like I said, I did not follow the recommended pattern to do this, but it is done. It does fit me like a nice normal hat would, so I believe it will fit my mother. It's pretty stretchy. There's no issues with it being like too tight. It's very snug. Not very snug, but like adequately snug. And now I'm just gonna weave in the ends. So that's pretty awesome. And then I do also still want to make my dad a hat. However, I think I have decided that instead of making him this hat, because it does end up being pretty thick, I'm gonna make my dad a beanie with one of Passionate Kelsey's tutorials. I think it's just called She just calls it her easy chunky knit beanie. So I think I'm just gonna make him that, especially because the ribbing is forgiving. So if it's not, so hopefully it will fit his head. I'm going to pick out some yarn to use for my dad's beanie. So I decided to pick blue and black for the hat instead of green and black. I think my dad just likes the color blue better. It loosely represents his favorite football team, so I just think it's a better option. And the beanie is double-stranded. So it will still be thick, but it won't be as thick as the colorwork beanie because there won't be any floats. So hopefully it'll work out. Yay! And it uses 8mm needles, which I think is excellent because I want this to work up quick. Hat number 2 is complete. Right before I weave the ends in, though. So I actually did not follow the Passionate Kelsey's pattern like at all. Literally, I changed everything about the hat. So instead of doing a 1x1 rib, I did a 2x1. I did a different cast on number to account for that. I made it a lot shorter. Did different decreases as well. The only thing that was the same was the doubled yarn and the 8mm needles, so pretty much changed all of it, but I think it looks really nice, actually. I really like the look of a 2x1 rib. I started doing my pearls a different way, which I was having a problem with my pearls being too loose for the longest time since I began knitting, really. And I only really noticed it earlier this year when I was trying to make a ribbed all over ribbed top. And I just noticed that my pearls were coming out really loose. My gauge watches are always a little bit, off, especially when I have to make something flat. And I was just sick of it, and I really wanted to make this rib hat, and then in the beginning I wasn't liking how it was looking with my loose pearls because it's just a little more open and it doesn't really cinch the way that ribbing is supposed to. So I started doing what I think is called an Eastern pearl, but I'm not sure if it's still called that since I'm still doing English knitting, so I don't know if it's only called that if it's continental, but what I'm doing is instead of wrapping the yarn around the needle clockwise or counterclockwise, you do it clockwise. And then to prevent it from being twisted, what you do is you insert your needle into, from the back loop to purl, and then you wrap it around clockwise. So I've been doing that instead, which uses a lot less yarn per stitch. And I think that it has definitely helped. I will take this off and show you. You can kind of see that it does really cinch in a lot, so you mostly just see those knit stitches, but then when it's stretched out, you can see the pearls, which was not happening on my ribbing before that. So I'm actually really excited for that, and because rather than like tugging on the yarn and trying to make it tighter every stitch, this is a lot easier to do that. But yeah, we have this hat done once I weave in the ends. So I need to make my sister a gift. I am gonna say this segment will be short because I have already made the gifts. But I originally was gonna make her a felt star garland, which was really kind of trendy a few months ago, and I thought it was really cute, so I was gonna do that, but then my local craft store had like no felt, and I wasn't about to like order it online, so I decided to make her a necklace instead. So I actually went ahead and made her a couple necklaces. I got a bunch of beads from Michael's. I ordered some jewelry wire, which I didn't know that this is what you really should be making necklaces out of. It's definitely a lot sturdier than string, of course, because with string, especially like stretchy string, which is what like I've made necklaces out of in the past. It's hard to like tie it off and trust that it's not gonna come undone. I ended up making a couple necklaces. Let me show you. So these are what I ended up making. Aren't they so cute? So this one has rose quartz and mother of pearl beads. And then this one just has all these little tiny beads. And this one was easy and quick to do because what I did was I just put all the beads in a little container and then took the wire and just like randomly picked up the beads. So as you can see, there's not like a consistent pattern with this one, but I think it's super cute. This one is like choker length. This one's a little bit longer. And yeah, it's just like a cute little 2 necklace set. I feel like you can wear them together because the white beads kind of match, or you can wear them separately, of course. But yeah, there's the necklaces. I didn't film me making them just because I've been really busy these past few days. I was on vacation for a few days too. So yeah, I just wanted to get stuff done. It is Christmas Eve, so it's the 23rd right now. So of course, like I said, I've been busy and been just trying to crunch and finish everybody's gifts. So, yeah, those are the necklaces for my sister. Hello, so for my boyfriend's parents, I wanted to make them both eyeglass cases. I'm actually all ready and prepped to start sewing. So I have my fabrics ready. This one's gonna be for his dad. So this will be the outside, this will be the inside. And then for his mom, we have this cute little flower one, and then these bees for the inside. And then I also have some batting, which is over here. So the tutorial I'm using is on YouTube. It's by CVQ or CV Quiltworks. It's just called the eyeglass tutorial. I will link it in the description if you're interested. I'm a pretty beginner sewer, especially with a machine. So I do have one, but it's very old and I only just recently like took it out and like looked at it. So I'm actually borrowing a machine from my local library, which is something you could do. So that's cool. I'll show it to you in a second, but yeah, I just got everything set up. It's a little bit of a learning curve. I have the manual here to help me out. I'm ready, I'm excited, and I feel like, so this is the first time I'm using a machine at myself, so I do go to like sewing programs, again, at the library, and those have been fun, but they usually just set up the machine and everything for us, so I don't have to do anything in terms of that. But I'm excited to explore the possibilities. Here is the sewing machine. It's like a quilting and sewing machine. I am really not familiar with the screen here, so I don't know, I'm gonna do some tests just on test pieces of fabric to see like what kind of stitch I like, because look at all these, oh my god. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Test fabric and batting. I'm scared. I think I did everything I need to do before I actually start sewing. I think. I'm nervous. Yeah, and I'm really not used to all the buttons on this one. The ones we use at the library are the same brand, Brother, but they're a lot simpler. It's going really slow. Okay. I don't know if that's... I'm stepping on the pedal. I don't know if that's like a setting it's on. Let's try this. Oh, well, that changed that. I just want one. Okay, it's still really slow. Okay, I don't know what that's all about, but oh, that's not good. That's kind of ugly. Yeah, let me show you. What is that? What is that? Let's try again. I don't know. Do I have to fix this? Oh, okay, so that's why. I'm already on this. I'm all the way on the slow setting. All right. Let's try a different stitch. Oh. Okay. All right. I feel like this is a. Wait, what the hell? What the hell? Yeah, like, so that's what that looks like. I don't want that. I'm confused. I am confused. I'm confused. Alright, I'm just gonna do the one that is, the number 1 on the machine, which is this one here. And I'm just gonna hope that it turns out good. Okay. Okay. So we have this thing. So this I want to be the outside and this will be the inside. I'm gonna iron this. She is ironed. Stopped sewing for some reason at this point. Don't know why. Oh. How is my bobbin empty? What? I thought I like filled it. Alright, well that's why I guess. Alright, now let's finish this. Okay. Alright. Oh, okay. 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 It's not bad. I like it. I like it. Alright, well that's one done. Hello, it's been a few days, but that is going to be the end of the video. I wanted to do like a little roundup of everything that I made, but I just didn't get to since I was busy over the holidays. I had to wrap all the gifts and I just focused on spending time with family, that sort of stuff. So I'm going to end it here. If you liked it, thank you for watching, and yeah, bye!